There is only one accessory that truly makes the Canon R7 a cinema camera. Time to find out what that is. Or something. It's accessorizing time. Accessories. What an introduction. What did you think of that? Trying it out, seeing if it works. I think like Visible Tour needs an introduction. And that might be it. I mean, that might be the introduction to use. You tell me, leave a comment below. Did you like it? Or was it like really corny or lame? But maybe that's me. Maybe I'm a corny, lame guy, and that's why you watch my channel. Or now you're not gonna watch it anymore. But anyways, you're not here for corniness, or are you? Okay, never mind. I digress. Just to give you a quick background of the Canon R7 and my experience with it, I am a Canon R6 shooter. I shoot professionally, full-time, 25 houses a week on average, over 1,000 homes a year, architectural photography, businesses, and real estate. So that is my main thing. Now I do videos as well, and obviously I have the YouTube channel. The Canon R7 has blown me away. I've had it since it first came out. I did pre-order it, canceled the pre-order because it didn't come in right away. My local store at Camera Corner here in Green Bay did have it. I picked it up right away. And I actually thought that I would use it for a few months and then return it. But after testing it excessively, which you can check out those videos from a few months ago, and I will leave those in the link below, this thing has blown me away. It does not overheat. I ran it for about 5.5 hours at 4K fine, also at 24p and at 30p, and it never overheated. I had it plugged in the whole time, so it does use USB for power, and so you can have unlimited power. Then you combine the Canon 24-70, which is on it right now. I've used the 16-35. I have adapted the Tamron 35-150. It's amazing. It is sharp. It is arguably sharper than the Canon R6, and I prefer it in video over the R6. Now the R6 is great with the full frame. That's what I'm using right now, 16-35. It is at the 35 millimeter, but there's something about this that almost feels cinema-like. This all by itself, and then a beautiful lens like the 24-70, does make it almost, not quite, almost a cinema camera. So what's lacking? What is the main thing? And this is my opinion, but as somebody that's been shooting film and video for the last 20 years, what makes a cinema camera besides possibly even cinema lenses? Does that make it? It really is the accessibility of sound. What do you get? Now with all of these, it's always 16-bit. It's not the full 24-bit that you get. Also, you only have a 3.5 millimeter jack, so you're using a Rode VideoMic Pro Plus or a wireless lav mic that's 3.5 jack. So Jared, tell us, stop beating around the bush. What makes the Canon R7 truly a cinema camera? What is that one accessory? It is the Tascam XLR 2D. This is amazing. And what makes this amazing is you don't have to use batteries. You have the option of using batteries on this, but what the Canon R7 offers is it offers a direct digital connection on top. So when you plug in here, it uses the battery of the Canon R7, powers the XLR here. You have two XLR hookups. You also have the 3.5 jack in there as well. So you can actually monitor that. The nice plastic protects it so you can't mess up with the buttons, but everything is tangible. Physical dials right there. So if you're on the Canon R7 and you don't have this and you want to mess with the audio levels, you have to go into the menus and you have to digitally move them as you're going, which you're gonna risk bumping everything. Here, you actually set it physically and you can override them. The monitoring on here is amazing. Everything that you need to do audio is set on this. And this is truly now what makes the Canon R7 a cinema camera. It also makes the Canon R3 a cinema camera, and it will make any other Canons in the future that use that digital connection on the hot shoe now totally a cinema type camera. So the other item I'm using right now is the Tascam Portacapture X8, which does 32-bit float. 32-bit float is a whole different video. We'll do that another time. It's amazing. I highly recommend it. It is meant for special people like myself who screw up audio a lot, and you can totally fix it in post-production. It's amazing. So right now I actually have to record separately onto this, and then I have to sync it in post-production. Whereas when you're using the Tascam XLR 2D connected directly to your R7, there's no more syncing. It directly syncs. The audio records onto the card. It is 24-bit audio, and you have a lot of flexibility with that. The Portacapture is great because it does do 32-bit float, gives you a lot of leverage. If you screw up your levels, you can fix that in post-production. But this saves a lot of time because I have under-monitored and over-monitored, and my audio levels were way off, and then you're bringing in a lot of noise when it comes to fixing that. Whereas when you're using 24-bit, it gives you a lot more leverage in fixing your levels in post-production and retaining good audio without all that noise. This item has dropped in price. I think it used to be $500. It might have dropped about $100, so it might be closer to $400 if you find a good sale or a deal. If you have a Canon R7, a Canon R3, I would highly recommend this. I was skeptical. The good thing is when you buy it from a place like B&H or Amazon, you've got 30 days to return it. Again, just like the Canon R7, I thought I was going to be returning this pretty quickly, testing it out and saying, oh yeah, it's okay. I love it. I use it every single time. All my YouTube videos, it's used here. It's also used for my interview videos that I use for my clients as well, because then it gives me that kind of leverage if I'm not going to use the Tascam Portacapture X8. So what if you don't have a Canon R7 and you have a Canon R6, like what is filming me right now, and it doesn't have that hot shoe adapter to use the Tascam? Well, Tascam also offers this exact one or another one without the hot shoe connection underneath, and you just connect it through the 3.5. Now you're not going to get 24-bit audio. You're just going to get the 16-bit audio, but it gives you that option of using XLR audio, which I'm using right now. And if you're curious what that sound is from, it is the Sennheiser 416. It is a $1,000 microphone. It is worth every single penny. I've been using XLRs for a long time, and this by far beats out any Rode microphone I've ever used. Now, although all these things add to awesome production, you also need good lighting. You need good video. You need good post-production as well. A lot of you might think that I'm operating with a green screen behind me, but guess what? It is a screen. It's my theater screen. I'm in my basement home theater. I found this to be the best place to make these talking head videos. And you tell me what you think. This is my 120-inch 4K projector up there. So this is what it looks like. This is it. Look, I got jumbo Stretch Armstrong arms on this because we are on the 15 to 35 millimeter. This is at 15 millimeters. And then the 120-inch screen is right here, my projector there. I have a light source right here too. So you tell me if you want me to ever do a video kind of showing my setup. It's only a one light source. I used to have a couple other lights that I would shine in the back as kind of a key light and then to give that background, but I like it. I like it burnt out. I don't think that's what I meant to say. Not burnt out. I'm burnt out. YouTube's draining. Okay, enough of that. Anyways, this is what 15 millimeter looks like. And now we're gonna go back into 35 millimeter on a full frame. And that's what this looks like. So when I'm using the Canon R7, I'm using either the 15 to 35 or the 24 to 70. And I'm using it at 24 millimeters on either of those because then I get it closer to that 35 millimeter point where I'm at right now. So anyways, this was all kind of a long rant. You tell me, what do you use when it comes to audio sources? I've used a lot of stuff over the years, and really when it comes down to it, it's what you're comfortable with. It's what you can edit and control. I've used really cheap sources that sound good in post-production. This setup that I'm using right now, I have to do very little in post, and it really does come down to time. So are you using XLR hookups? Are you using a 3.5 millimeter jack when it comes to like a Rode VideoMic Pro Plus or any kind of Sennheiser that's a 3.5? This is my opinion on what makes a cinema camera. There's a YouTuber, and I feel bad because I can't even think of his last name, but his name is Josh, big beard. I'm gonna leave a link below about him, but he actually does really good videos comparing the C70, the Canon R7, the Canon R5, all of these kind of cinema type cameras with cinema type lenses. And he still has the Canon R7. He got his Canon R7 about the same time as me because when I was doing my reviews, his reviews were coming up as well. Josh comes in from a different perspective than I do, and I definitely respect it, and I like to see that view. So my view is more when it comes to architectural and talking heads. His comes to similar, they overlap a little bit. He has got talking head videos. He also has a channel, I believe, on his farm. So it's a farming channel as well. So anyways, I feel horrible because I follow this guy, I respect him, and I can't even think of his last name, but I am gonna leave a link below of Josh's channel because let's give these people kudos. He's got about 10,000 subscribers, which is a lot more than me. That being said, if you want to motivate me, please subscribe to this channel and like this video because it does help the algorithm. And if it helps the algorithm, it makes me feel better about myself, and then I want to make more videos for you. But also leave a comment below and tell me what the next video you want. Do you like the information about Canon R7 or the Canon R6 or any of the Canon cameras? Or do you want to learn more about DaVinci Resolve? Because I got a lot more video content in the works of DaVinci Resolve because I have switched recently from Adobe to DaVinci, and man, that was the best breakup I've ever had. Now, Adobe is trying to get me back by giving me deals, but I don't know, I keep telling her no, but she keeps giving me more deals. We'll see. That's a hard breakup, and it's only because I like free stuff. But anyways, that being said, I'm Jared Hoyman with Visible Tour, and I'm out of here.